about my love? Wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
My runner-up this year is Clemson. I got to see more from Klubnik. I know he kind of flashed at times, but he looked really bad at times too. Will Shipley is over 1,000-yard rusher. No question about that. The O-line, I think, is going to be better. Phil Maffa is kind of his backup at running back, and he's pretty good too. So my problem is these wide receivers. I mean, Antonio Williams, Adam Randall, those should be the pretty much wide receiver 1 and 2, and those should be the standout players. But you couldn't really tell with having and Bo Collins also, but you couldn't really tell last year with having DJ on that team. Brandon Streeter, I think Garrett Riley is going to do wonders for this team. Brandon Streeter, I'll never run it. DJ had 142 rushes last year, and Will Shipley had 210. It's like they just didn't want to run the ball, even though it would work, but they wanted to force DJ to run it. They didn't trust him to throw it. They didn't trust the receivers. It was just it was really a train wreck on offense. Now defense was amazing. I think this team had over 15 sacks last year combined. Now they lose a lot of it. Brian Bresee, Trenton Simpson, Miles Murphy. I mean, they lose a lot of pieces, but they got a lot coming back. So Jeremiah Trotter, Barrett Carter. They both had 12 sacks combined last year. I think the defense is still going to be really good, and they got 3 really good true freshmen coming in. Vic Burley, Tamarian Parker, and Peter Woods are all top 60 D linemen. Their top 3 recruits in the whole class are top 60 D linemen nationally, top 60 ranked. And I think they're all going to contribute right away. And like I said, the other 2, Barrett Carter and Jeremiah Trotter, are linebackers, and they're starters for the defense. So I think the secondary will struggle, and like they did last year, Wake Forest, Sam Hartman threw all over them. I think that'll be the weakest point on that whole team, and I think the defense is going to be a little bit young, but it'll still be pretty well taken care of. But also, lastly, Clemson's kryptonite, the transfer portal.
Yep.
12 transfers out and 1 transfer in.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, there was 1 transfer in. Hunter Johnson was the QB that they brought in last year for depth purposes. This year, I forget his name, but 1 quarterback brought in for depth purposes. No other positions. I still don't understand it. I don't know why. And I have people, and Pete included, telling me, well, we don't have any room on the scholarship. We can't just go out and get transfers. Well, if you have 12 people transfer out, you telling me you can't replace those scholarships with 11 more people?
I'm sorry. We gain, like,
just saying.
Look at Colorado.
But
they gained more people than what they lost.
Well, yeah, but they had a lot of people leave it, so that's what I'm saying. You had balance there. But anyway, that's why I got Clemson at runner-up. They've lost 3 games in the past 2 years also.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put that out.
Saying, that's a reason why I don't have Clemson as my runner-up.
Garrett Riley, every single quarterback that dude's had in his tenure has been good. Most notably, last year, Max Duggan. So what do you think he's going to do with Cade Klubnik? And I went back and watched the film against Tennessee, and I seen Cade Klubnik make some amazing throws in that game. That probably ones that people that aren't keen to quarterbacks would probably think are just kind of mid, but the precision and everything. And I mean, I'm not saying that the dude's the prettiest damn quarterback as far as like his, the way he throws the ball is not the prettiest, but the placement in that game was awesome. And I think Garrett Riley's going to get all that stuff together. So that being said, man, Clemson is going to be my champion. I think they beat Florida State twice. And I think they actually get further in the top 25 than what people give them credit for. I think they might, hot take, I think they might end up at like 9 or 10 by the end of the season. And if they might F around and go undefeated, to be honest too, and losing their bowl game. So I'm not the highest on Clemson. I'm just saying the trajectory that they could take if they come out beating us. They do have the schedule and everything to go undefeated.
They do.
I mean, it just is what it is if the cards end up falling where they may. I don't even think it's close. I think it's Florida State and Clemson, to be honest with you, Hayden. I don't even think Duke's defense can hold them through. Riley Leonard is awesome though.
Yeah.
But I mean, the defensive struggles that they're going to deal with if Florida State and Clemson are remotely on their game. With Clemson's running game, I don't think Duke could stop.
No.
And if Florida State is able to pass the ball and Trey Benson is as good as we think he is, Trey Benson might be the best running back in the ACC if he's on his game. But
if he's playing how I think he will, he's going to be cooking. Because I think he's going to help.
We ain't got the 1-2 punch that we did last year.
Yeah. So I got Boston College. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Hayden, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was really debating putting Duke here. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I don't hate the Duke pick. I agree, but yeah, I gotta go with Clemson. I mean, pretty much exactly what you said. Cade Klubnik's gonna look completely different now. That defense is probably the best defense in the ACC. I mean, it's not really much I could say that Dante didn't say. I will again, going back to the Duke thing though, Hayden. If their defense was just a little bit better, I so would have put them here in the championship.
I know you would have.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, both Duke and Clemson, when Duke faces Clemson and Florida State, I mean, it's going to be offensive shootouts just because they won't have team. Well, maybe not with Clemson. Again,
week one. I'm going to be watching that.
I will not be surprised if Duke beats Clemson week one in a packed out house for Duke.
Yeah, it's like,
and if that were to happen, I feel like that would be Clemson's only loss because they haven't lost to Duke since what, 1970 something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You also got
like 1978.
Yeah.
Although shout out to Spurrier, I know he said that he was going to be there at Duke. So.
Hey, bro,
I don't know, man. Notre Dame's been whooping ass.
I might buy a ticket myself. Just F around.
I don't know, man. With that defense, now looking at who Cade Klubnik's in his corner, helping him out coaching wise. I feel like defensively, Clemson's the more complete team there.
I think Clemson's going to drop a couple they shouldn't. I think they're going to drop to Notre Dame, and I think they're going to drop to South Carolina.
We'll see.
And
but these are those are both out of conference.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, so, man, at that point, it doesn't matter then. I'm not saying that for playoff-wise, they're out of conference. They can still be undefeated in the ACC.
I know, but I have...
I don't care what they do against Notre Dame and South Carolina.
So me and Sora got Clemson.
I so wanted to put Duke there
as our champion.
Why couldn't their defense have been just a little bit better on paper?